How Gabi here, and today I'm going to be talking all about what are the best lenses for the Canon EOS 90D. Now, if you have a 80D or 70D or D200 or whatever camera that is like Canon crop sensor DSLR, well, this video will be very useful for you too. And if you have something like an M50, M6 Mark II, M6, M3, whatever, there is a little adapter that you can use. I reviewed it not too long ago. Click here to watch the review, and you can still use all these lenses as well. So now, that being said, let's talk about the lenses. Now, I put them like this because I like the way they create this nice shape, but I'm gonna talk in order that I will think you should buy the lenses. So first, kit lens. This one is the 18-135 from Canon, and it's a new version. That's the ones that, you know, probably if you buy the 90D at the shop, they're probably gonna recommend you to buy this, and there is good reason for that. This is not the sharpest, it's not the brightest, I don't know, but it's not like the best at anything, but it's very good at many things. So it gives you a 28mm full frame equivalent, which is pretty wide, standard wide, I would say. And at the end it's 135mm, that is close to like 200mm, I believe. It comes with a nice lens hood. It's all plastic, but it's nice, it feels really good on the hand, it's quite compact, and the stabilization in this lens is really good. Something that they do here is they have a lock. So that means once you lock it, if you're walking with your camera climbing a mountain, the zoom doesn't open. You can see that's something, well, this is very new, this lens. There it is, it was locked just before. So maybe you're walking and you will see the lens start kind of opening. Because this lens is very new, that doesn't happen much, but the more you use the lens, that thing is gonna loosen up, and as you're walking, it's very annoying that this open up. So this lens have a lock. The autofocus is super snappy, it's very, very fast. And the sharpness is good enough. You can also see here I have some dots. So you can buy this module that you put on top, and you can have a motorized zoom. So it controls the zoom, and that's kind of useful for some filmmakers. To be honest, I wouldn't do that, but yeah, you have the possibility if you want. So kit lens 18-135 is a really good choice. There is also a cheaper version, which I don't have, which is the 18-55, if I'm not mistaken, which is basically very similar to this lens. It's just shorter range, and yeah, like I said, it's not the brightest, not the sharpest, but pretty useful. Now let's go what I believe is maybe the second lens that not just Canon 90D users should buy, but basically any Canon users, regardless of what camera you have. This is a full frame lens. This is the Nifty 50, 50mm f1.8 STM. This is the STM version. It's very quiet for focusing, so you can use it for video as well. And it is really good. It's not like a L lens, like a 50 f1.4, f1.2, but it's really amazing, and you can really throw the background with this little lens, so you will get amazing bokeh. It's very sharp. There is a bit of vignetting, especially on full frame cameras, but when you put it on a 90D, that vignetting is not really there. Maybe it's just a little, but generally speaking, this lens is fantastic for the money. I did test and compare this lens with a whole of other lenses. You can check the video right there. And the next lens that I want to recommend is the 10-18mm lens, and this is an ultra wide angle to wide, to standard wide basically. So if you are in full frame, that will be something like 16-28. Basically, it's fantastic for vlogging. This doesn't come with any lens hood, same as the 50. It's very plastic. This is probably one of the few lenses that is, the mount is also made of plastic, but I couldn't care less. It is ultra light, so it's very lightweight. So if you're vlogging long time, you're having the camera here, you will see your arm will get very tired. With this lens, it doesn't, because it's so light. So why putting a metal mount on a lens that is so small? I don't think it's really that needed. And like it's that is not enough on an ultra wide, they put a stabilization, so that helps a lot for vlogging. The Canon 90D also have electronic image stabilization. And combined with this stabilization, it's fantastic for vlogging. It's very good for videos. I like it for landscape photography, and it's very sharp. So it's not very bright, it's not a fast lens, but who need a very fast lens for ultra wide, right? So this is fantastic, and the price is really competitive. So very highly recommended the ultra wide. Now, that being said, I think that these three lenses and this camera is a phenomenal starting kit for anybody. So you got 18 to 135, so you got telephoto, you got basically long telephoto, short telephoto, you got a standard and a standard wide, and then here you got a standard wide to ultra wide. Then you have a very sharp, very fast lens that can give you the ability to shoot at low light and also throw that, you know, that background out, so you get amazing bokeh. And they're all very small, they're all very affordable, and basically you get a lot to work with. But that being said, if you are into some more specific kind of photography, let's say wildlife, you want to shoot I don't know, a lion, and you don't want the lion to eat you because you're too close, you're gonna need something like this. This is the Sigma 120 to 400 millimeters. Let me read it here. 120 to 400 millimeters, 5 to 5.6 APO HSM Sigma DG, which is a full frame lens and it's a monster. But this directly mounts into the 90D. If you want, you can check my review on the 90D where I actually mounted and took some pictures with it. And yeah, this is like, look at that thing. That will impress a lot of people. When you walk around with this lens, people go like, oh wow, are you a professional photographer? You're like, yeah, sure, why not? And yeah, you have a scaling here, and don't be intimidated by this lens. It's not that heavy, it's just big. And another thing that this lens could be intimidating would be the price, but in reality it's not that expensive. I mean, I believe it's just a little bit more than the kit lens. So that being said, if you need a long telephoto, I highly recommend this one. This is really not a fast lens, like it shouldn't be, but that being said, if you need it, you need to shoot sports, you need to, for whatever reason, you need to shoot something that requires a long telephoto, that's the one I would get. Now, there is another lens that is also very specific. Like I say, if you're gonna get into specifics, let's get into a specific, and this is a macro lens. So if you are doing a product photography or anything that requires macro, well, you're gonna need a macro lens. I believe there is a macro lens for the 90D, there is a crop sensor lens. That being said, it's not much cheaper than this, probably this, maybe half the price, but the L lens is, it have a reputation for being really good. This lens is like famous amongst photographers and even filmmakers because it's really amazing quality, the macro is fantastic, the quality of the lens is really good, and that being said, it's also very lightweight. And this could also be a nice portrait lens. So when mounted in this camera, will give you like 160 millimeter full frame equivalent focal range. That could be useful for some portrait photographers to throw the background out and add a lot of compression when you're shooting people on places that are not very nice. And so you want to get rid of that background. So the compression on this lens will be excellent. It's a f2.8 maximum widest aperture, so it's pretty good. The stabilization in this lens is like the best ever. So it's pretty good, and it's not that expensive. So if you need a macro, or you need basically a portrait lens that is longer, I mean, I could use this as a portrait because this basically becomes an 85 millimeter equivalent full frame. So that's already a portrait lens, but this could be like a more longer portrait lens, so it could be useful. So there you have it. I would recommend these three lenses first for the Canon 90D, and then more specific lenses like the long telephoto and the macro lens if you want to spend more money. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, you know what to do. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and smash that subscribe button if you haven't yet. This is Gabby from Ray Studios, and I'll see you on the next video.